Okay, in verse, where'd we leave off? I think we left off with verse 27. And verse 28 says, "And even as they did not like to regain God in their knowledge," in other words, they was trying to put off what he had taught them, in their and he gave them over to a debased mind to do those things which are not fitting. In other words, an immoral society, what we would call an immoral society today. And I want you to listen as I read through this and see if any of this sounds even the slightest bit familiar. Being filled with all unrighteousness, sexual immorality, wickedness, covetousness, in other words, wanting what somebody else has, maliciousness, full of envy, sounds pretty popular these days, murder, strife, deceit, evil mindedness. Son, they are whisperers. I like that. Backbiters, haters of God. And before I go much farther, any of us can be these things on any given day, so I'm not judging anybody. Violent, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, undiscerning. In other words, they can't tell the difference between right and wrong. Untrustworthy. You can't even hire them at a job because they're untrustworthy. Unloving, unforgiving, unmerciful. Who, knowing the righteous judgment of God, that those who practice such things are deserving of death, not only do the same, but also approve of those, wow, approve of those who practice them. So should we be approving of those that practice them? I'm gonna have to do some more study on that because I'm just a baby Christian. But that's what it sounds like to me. It was a society that was just totally rebelling against God. And I think if you pay attention to what's going on within our society right now, you'll see that we got it going on. I mean, did not those things that I just read to you sound like what we have going on in society today? And people wonder why we're having problems. You know, this, whether you like it or not, was a country, a nation that was, and I'm not trying to get into politics here, I'm trying to tell you about the history of our nation. The history of our nation this was one nation built under God, indivisible, and we have nothing but division right now. And what I see is what he describes here as a society rebelling against God. So are we a society that's rebelling against God? And worse than that, are we a society that maybe not rebelling against God, but saying it's okay, oh, it's all right, they've been hurt. I have too, but I'm not going around robbing folks. So their hearts had become hardened and they didn't care anymore, and they became all of these things. And I am sitting here telling you myself that not only have I condoned these things, I have done these things, I've grown from these things, and try not to do them today. But I'm guarantee you, just about the time you think you get one thing, whoop, there's another one. Because I know there are people out there that try to act like when you become a Christian, you just quit doing all the things that are displeasing to God. No, you don't. No, you don't. If that was the case, none of us, and I do mean none of us, would qualify. So, I don't know, just something to think about. I'm going to go and read here in a little bit.